Denmark's UN ambassador, Christina Markus Lassen, said on Monday, August 3rd, that progress in selecting the next UN Secretary General would be a key priority as Copenhagen assumes the rotating presidency of the Security Council for August.
We do hope, of course, to make progress on the selection of the new Secretary General. This is arguably one of the most important decisions of the Council this year. We obviously cannot comment on the results, if you wanted to ask me that, of the straw polls last week, but we do expect to conduct another round of straw polls later this month. We're very excited about it, and we think it's historic to be part of this process. So yes, I can say, and I think that's all I can say, unfortunately, and I hope you respect that confidentiality in that room. There was, of course, a lot of suspense and excitement. We know that this is a very important issue that we're working on, and very important to try to get the Council to but to agreement, as it's managed, after all, the past 9 times.
One was to talk more about your signature event, the importance of it.
We were one of the members, as you might know, who argued in favor when we were discussing the modalities of these elections for more transparency and for actually releasing the polls. We agreed not to do so. So now when we agreed on that, we're very strict on that. So we find it unfortunate, as in many other council members, that the results were leaked, because now we had agreed not to. But that's the way we look at it. We find the whole point of the Strait of Hormuz not allowing for freedom of navigation being extremely problematic, and of course the consequences exactly for food security and some of these other products that you are mentioning is extremely challenging. So we would support the Secretariat's efforts. For us, it is extremely important to shed some light on both how many of these major conflicts, and it's basically all the ones I was talking about right now, Strait of Hormuz, Ukraine, even what's happened in the Palestinian territories, are affecting food security. But at the same time, of course, also sometimes conflicts or conflicts over food resources will also have the opposite effect, or actually spur conflicts. So that's why we want to see those links. Sudan is another example where we keep seeing very concerning, whenever we have the IPC reports, very concerning numbers in terms of food insecurity. Same with the recent numbers in Gaza. In spite of being almost more than 8 months, actually, since 2803, we still see some extremely concerning. It's been improving a little bit, but still very concerning. We have a special role in the Council as co-focal point together with Bahrain on conflict and hunger, which means that we have taken on ourselves a special responsibility to highlight the connections between conflict and hunger in the conflicts that we are working on. You can expect us to seek to bring attention to Sudan and Ukraine, where Council engagement, we believe, remains especially urgent. In Sudan, we'll continue to press for stronger protection of civilians, greater humanitarian access, and renewed efforts towards ending the conflict. And on Ukraine, we'll maintain our call for an immediate and unconditional ceasefire, as well as our constant support for a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace in line with the UN Charter, while keeping the consequences of Russia's aggression firmly on the Council's agenda. Another thing I didn't mention yet, but which we also will be watching very closely, the situation in the West Bank, but also in Gaza. On the latter, we hope to see, of course, progress on the implementation of 2803, but also on the West Bank, we've seen a lot of concerning incidents over the last few weeks and months, so we could also expect that those 2 issues might be on the agenda. The same goes for the situation in Lebanon. The post-UNIFIL arrangements will have to be decided, as you know, by the Council members. We have been presented by some options for the Secretary General. So right now we are waiting for the best time to actually discuss that future configuration.